Hello everyone and welcome back to another Stormworks video. In today's video we're going to be covering the update as of today, which is 0.4.31. As you can probably tell, it's Halloween time. That means we have a couple of new features that the devs have added into the game. I'll be going through all of them just now. Along with that is there's a couple new components that they've added in, along with a couple of different fixes. Now, I will be linking below the whole feature list that you can go ahead and read. However, I won't be covering all of them. I'll just be covering the ones that are most important and relevant to most of us that play the game. So that all said, we'll jump straight in. First things first is, as you can see, we have a new outfit on. Now, they've gone ahead and added 2 new hats. Along with that is 2 new sets of clothing. So we'll quickly just go over to the actual outfit changing area here, and I can show you. So you can see now that we have the pumpkin hat and we also have the witch hat. We can go ahead and onto our creations at the moment, which is pretty cool. Along with that, we also have 2 different sets of clothing that we can go ahead and do. First is going to be the zombie one. Looks pretty cool. And then we also have the skeleton. So that's done. We've covered that. The last thing is, as you can probably tell, all around the island there is Halloween decorations, whether it be inside the buildings or pretty much anywhere within this building. You see a little cauldering pot down here. We have spider webs and little ghosts and trees and pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, pretty much everywhere. There's decorations everywhere, all over the creative island. There's also decorations on the Star Island, so definitely go ahead and look for those when you're playing Stormworks in the next couple of days. It is only going to be for the next couple of days, so make sure you go ahead and play it this weekend. Go check out all the different things. I don't see this coming along that often. It's the first time I've seen anything like this, so definitely go and check it out. Now, with that all covered, what we're going to do is just be chatting about the new components that they've added in. Now, they've added a few different components that I've gone ahead and just put over here to go through them. Now, first off, the main thing that is probably going to be the most important to the content creators is that we've now gone ahead and they've added power inputs and outputs to both the robotic hinge and also to the pivot. So you can see here with the pivot, it now has a power in and a power out, so we can transfer power between different connections. This is very good for obviously setting up, for example, you have a VTOL where your rotor blade needs to go in one direction and then spin to another direction. You also have it, for example, with building ships where you have your ASI thrusters underneath your ship. So before we couldn't actually have those because there was no way to rotate the power and have the engine in a different space to the propeller, if that made sense. So now we can actually have it as different entities and actually transfer power across and rotate it, which is great. The only difference between the two is that now the pivot also has a fluid transfer block. So for example, you can have a engine on one side and then have it transferring power and fluid through the pivot itself into something else, which is also really cool, and I think a lot of the community have been looking forward to that. Next off, we have the addition of a medium-sized propeller. Now, to my right here is going to be the Titan propeller, which we had in the game, and then they've now reworked the small propeller, or the normal one we always used to have. They've gone ahead and reworked it, and all 3 now have actually got the same design to them. The 2 small ones are now paintable, so this is the middle one now. They've gone ahead, so it's kind of bridged the gap between the 2, which is absolutely great, because these just looked way too small on bigger ships and these just looked way too big on bigger ships. So I'm really happy they've gone and done that, especially for guys that are building much larger ships. This is definitely going to be the propeller that you want to be using. Now, next off that they've gone ahead and added is going to be the addition of the new heavy rotor. Now, the heavy large rotor, should I say rather, we had first off was the normal aircraft propeller, which is just over here. We also then had was the large one, and they've gone ahead and added the heavy large one, which is this one just over here. Really nice and big. All these propellers or rotors, if you will call them, all have collective pitch built into them, exactly the same as a helicopter control, which is absolutely amazing. So we can now go ahead and add these to our creations instead of using the small or extremely large ones, which is really nice. It kind of just bridges the gap between everything and makes our creations look much better in comparison to what they were. So that's pretty much about it for the update. I'm not going to get into any more of the details about anything. Just a little highlights here and there and some cool little features they've added in today. And with that all said, we'll go ahead and end the video there. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for any future content. be sure to tune in for the live streams on the weekends, and we'll see you in the next video.